What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mom and Son Show.
I'm the mom.
And I am the son, and today we're going to be talking about our experience doing the 4-park in 1 day challenge.
Correct.
So let's go and see how we did. As always, before we do that, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps our channel out. And you might or might not have noticed we've been gone for about a week and a half, it feels like.
Hopefully you've noticed.
Hopefully you've noticed. We decided to take a little trip to Disney, Mom and I, and then I had a wedding to go to up in North Carolina. So
and I went back to Disney.
And then she went back to Disney. So we've been going to Disney quite a bit to get you more content, more information. But we wanted to give you results of how we did with our 4-day challenge. Before we do that, Mom, how was your time off?
It felt like a month because it was just so relaxing, but there was so many things that we did. Most of it involved being in the pool because it was so hot down here in Southwest Florida. If you live where there's a lot of heat, make sure you stay hydrated.
It was miserably hot, like very hot in the parks when we went, which we're going to talk about as well. But we're excited to be back. We have a lot of information that has come out, so these next episodes are going to be very informative. If you're planning on going maybe during the holiday season, maybe during what is October holiday season? Is Halloween holiday season?
It starts August.
Oh, okay. August. So there we go. But today we're definitely just talking about the 4 parks in 1 day. Let's see how we did, Mom.
Oh, we got to talk about our closures.
We have to talk about the closures.
Absolutely.
I forgot today is Friday. Splash Mountain
Continues to be closed until next summer. Guess what?
We're past June 12th. We're open.
Past 12th. That's
Let's
now
go.
open. So kids are very happy about that. And then, of course, you've got your Blizzard Beach.
Blizzard Beach still closed.
And the Wishes fireworks dessert. That's going to come back soon. Day after 4th of July.
4th of July. Perfect.
And that's all there is. So it really was not that much
Everything's
to have
pretty
to
much
be
open.
worried about. Now, of course, that doesn't take into account the random ride breakdowns.
Right.
We can't control that
Yep.
or announce that. All right, so let's get started with our 4-park challenge. Where we're trying, this is what our goal was: 1 ride, 1 snack, 1 drink, no individual lightning lanes, and no Genie Plus. So whatever your pass was that got you through the gate, that's all you needed other than the money to purchase your snack and drink.
Exactly. So let's move on to park number 1, shall we? Okay. Magic Kingdom.
Okay. So there, I have always wanted, I hadn't in all of these times that I've been there, gotten the Dole Whip.
Yeah.
So we finally decided to get the Dole Whip.
Well, let's do our order of how we did things.
Okay, go ahead.
So we woke up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, because we left that day, right? We left that morning. Mm-hmm. When it got to 7 o'clock, while we were driving.
Oh my gosh. Well, of course we wanted to get the virtual queue for Tron.
Because I've never been on Tron.
And we've done a couple of episodes about how to get that virtual queue. And here we are in the car. I'm the passenger, he's driving, and we're trying, and guess what? This one gets the virtual queue.
We got, I think, number 35 or
37,
something like that, which wasn't a big deal because we weren't going to be at the park until 9:30 anyways. And we've discovered that if you're not there during your calling, at least for Tron, they will turn you around. Mm-hmm. So we had to kind of try to play it correctly, where we knew we weren't going to be there for opening, so we had to do it towards the end of the day.
We got lucky that we got 37.
No. Anyway, so we get to the park. The first thing we do is
we take our picture in front of the castle. Everybody's got to do that.
You'll have to do that. Mm-hmm. And then we move on to People Mover because we are trying to look for time slots in order to make sure that we can make the Tron schedule, but also do rides for you guys to see what the time was.
So we did the People Mover, and then we went into Carousel Progress. And in all of our years, what?
People Mover, the waited time was 5 minutes.
Oh.
We waited 4 minutes for it. Right when we got off, it moved to 20 minutes. So that just shows to tell you there was a lot of people starting to come into the parks. Mm-hmm. Carousel Progress.
Carousel Progress. We go in there because it wasn't quite time for our Tron. And guess what? First time ever, we get stuck. It stopped. It broke down at one of the scenes. So we had to watch the same scene twice, which in of itself wasn't that bad because it was in air conditioned.
Yeah, no,
And we
it
were
was
seated.
it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. We were getting close to when our number was called. That carousel progress was wait time was 5 minutes. We actually took 9 minutes to get on, and that is just because if you miss the one scene, it takes about 9 minutes just to move over to move that carousel progress going. So that's not a wait at all. Then we get to Tron.
Went to Tron.
They call us. And this is my biggest pet peeve. If I'm on a virtual queue, I don't know why they don't have the time that you're going to wait in line up on that virtual queue. Because we waited, it was 59 minutes we waited, even though we had a virtual queue. So we were group 35. We waited 59 minutes in that virtual queue line. They should have it posted somewhere.
So throughout the whole day, our goal was we really didn't want to wait an hour in line for a ride. We were trying to find rides that were less than an hour. We didn't anticipate an hour to be waiting for Tron.
Yeah, which wasn't a big deal because, again, you can't move until 2 o'clock anyways, so that's not a problem. Then we had lunch at, where do we have lunch?
Pinocchio's house. Pinocchio's house. Always a good place for lunch.
Yep.
But I will say, in all the times that we've gone, it was the most crowded.
It was wild.
It took a while to get a seat, to get a table.
The food was not organized. It was a mess.
It was tough.
It was like it was their first busy day because, like we were saying, June was a very, very lax month. Or May was, yes. May was very lax. From our point of view, June is skyrocketing off the busy scale.
Yep.
And then what was our snacks?
Dole
Like
Whip.
you were saying.
Okay, so we got the Dole Whip. I got the Dole Whip because I've been wanting one. So I went with the, I don't have it pictured here. It actually was a raspberry swirl, and it was a float. So I figured that was snack/drink.
Yeah.
Okay. The only problem is don't get the Dole Whip when you're outside when it's almost 100 degrees.
It was melting all over
Even
her.
though it was in a cup, by the time we left, where I picked it up was right behind the magic carpets. And by the time I got out of that awning, it was already melting down the side. Was it good? It was delicious.
It was very hot.
Yeah.
So right after that, we took the bus over to Animal Kingdom, park number 2.
And the bus was right there as we walked to the bus stop.
It was very, very convenient. Yes.
Which is hard to time. Like if you really wanted to try to do a timeline, it's hard because if you miss that bus, you could be waiting for an additional 20 minutes to 30 minutes before you get there. But we lucked out.
Right. And at this time, we thought we were feeling pretty good with time. So what do? We decided to go into Tiffin's. And we had beautiful cocktails, which are phenomenal.
I didn't like mine. It probably was good if you like guava.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I wasn't sure about the guava. I've never had it before. I didn't like the texture because it is a thicker, almost like a tomato juice type.
Yeah.
So I was not a fan of it, but it doesn't mean it's not a good drink. It just means that I don't like guava.
Yep. And then we sat down there probably, I don't know, for an hour. Like we really relaxed because we thought we were ahead of the game. Maybe or maybe not came back to bite us, but we're going to keep going. And then we walked over to Safari. And that was a 15-minute posted wait time. And so I was like, oh, let me just get a beer because if we're going to wait 15 minutes, I can have a beer. Well, it turned out to be just not even a minute. We walked right on, had to chug the beer. It was horrible. Great time though. The lions were not even out because it was so hot that day. And maybe we can give a little sneak peek about Pride Rock of the air conditioning blowing up.
Like now?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so there is a place on one of the rocks where they have air conditioning that blows up through the rock. So when you see the lions out there, sometimes you probably wonder, oh my gosh, how can they be sitting out there? There actually is a space there where they can have some fresh air, cool air, so they're not literally
The rocks
sitting
are cooled down, just blowing up on them, so they feel good.
Yeah.
And then, again, we thought we were really ahead of schedule, so we decided to wait in Avatar, which was a posted wait time of 80 minutes. A little much, but again, it is my number one ride out of all the parks. I don't care what you say, you Guardians, Rise of Resistance, Tron Maniacs, Avatar, Flight of Passage. You cannot beat it. We waited 75 minutes for that.
And we got perfect seats.
And we had the best seats in the house, medium row. You're not looking at anybody. You're going right at it. It's phenomenal. And that was, and then we had our snack.
The Panga Lumpia. It's a cream cheese with pineapple. It's my go-to snack when we go to Animal Kingdom. It is so good.
It's very good. And then we waited a little bit to move over to Epcot because
Correct.
everybody knows you cannot get any other transportation
Yeah.
except for a bus out or in to Animal Kingdom. So we left.
Animal Kingdom's rough.
It's rough.
transportation-wise.
So we left and we went over to Epcot.
Epcot.
Number 3,
Epcot Terrans.
Epcotarians. If you know, you know.
If you don't
So this one was our most challenging park. We decided to get our first and foremost magnets because if you're an
Yes.
annual pass holder, we got our magnets.
I'm disappointed with the magnet.
Really?
Really, it looks exactly like the more recent ones that we receive, and you can use your use your camera lens to go to it, and it kind of like comes to life. Figment does not come to life. I'm really surprised. Maybe it will in the future, but right now it hasn't been doing that.
Okay. Well, and then we wanted to go up to space. Because we heard there was a shortcut. On this specific day, the space wait was over an hour long because you have to wait for the bar. So that picture on the top right was the very next day. We'll get to that in a little bit. But the picture in the top right, we did not have any drinks. So we decided to skip the drink and try to go straight to Ratatouille because that's one ride I have not been on yet as well. Ratatouille was posted for 55-minute wait. So we figured we could wait in Ratatouille line, maybe have a beer while we're waiting, and then jump on the Skyliner over.
So we stopped at the pub
We stopped at the pub.
and I got my
And-
Leaping Lizard,
Yes, and I got a harp. And then we walked over to
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. The ride breaks down right when we're waiting in line. And then it jumps up to 70 minutes.
So we waited a half hour and really didn't move. Maybe we moved 4 rows over. If you know that queue, we started on the line that's closest to the entrance and only ended up over on the right-hand side. Didn't even move forward, just moved lateral.
And I think it started to get like 8 o'clock and MGM
7:30.
Hollywood Studios closed at 9. So we're like, we have to go.
Yeah.
We did not get on a ride that day, but we made up for it the very next day. Don't worry about that.
And we also went to the lounge.
No, we didn't.
That was the next day?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Well, we did make it to Hollywood Studios, so we accomplished a 4-park one-day challenge. We made it to all 4 parks. In this park, we decided that we were going to wait for Rise of the Resistance, which is our favorite ride in the park.
Yep.
We love that ride. Closing it at number 2 has to be the Toy Story ride. Pew, pew, pew. But Rise of Resistance, the posted wait time was 65 minutes. We ended up waiting 60 minutes.
Whoa, 5 minutes safe.
So 5 minutes safe. So if you looked at all the times of waiting, they weren't too far off.
Yeah, they're pretty accurate.
They were pretty accurate, which is surprising to us because I thought they always bump it up.
In the past, we've always noticed that it's almost been at least a quarter of the time less or even half the time less.
Yep.
But
And
we
did
can
we get
find
a
out.
drink at Hollywood Studios?
I
think we were running out of time, but
don't
I think we
so.
ran right there.
Yep.
We were hoping that it would shut down. We were hoping that we would get out of Rise of the Resistance a little bit earlier where we can get a drink and a snack, but we never did.
By the time we got out of Rise of the Resistance, as we were walking out of the exit area, Fantasmic was starting.
Well, it wasn't Fantasmic.
It was the
New show that they do in front of Minnie and Mickey's Railroad, which
Yeah.
is cool. We'll have to look at that too.
Yeah.
But the very next day, like we said, we got boarding group number one. Boarding group number 1 for Guardians of the Galaxy. We got up and got into spaceship Space
220.
220.
So what we found out was, yes, it's hard to get reservations for the actual restaurant. So then someone said, we'll try for the lounge instead of the restaurant because it's actually cheaper because you don't have to do the price fixed menu for the 3-course meal.
Right.
Then someone said you could also do a walk-up. So on the day before when we went there about 7-ish, whatever time we were there. We went to the walk-up and asked, and they said it was going to be an hour and 40 minutes.
And that was because it was during dinner. So
Yeah, and we didn't have that time. So we tried again the next day. We
and
got
right
there
when
11:30, 11:40.
Right after they opened up, and they let us. We got very lucky. Somebody canceled their reservations in the lounge, so we were able to go right up. But it was fantastic. Not as overwhelming as I thought, but the food is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We're going to go back for sure to try the food out because it is a high class meal. It's, in my opinion, it was worth what we paid for it.
It was delicious.
It was absolutely phenomenal. So I can't wait to actually try the main courses.
Yeah.
And then that day we definitely did go down and we saw the pass holders, which again.
And one thing what I want to say about the Pass Holder Lounge is I was there prior to us doing this 4-park challenge, and they only had the peanuts. Or I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
You were there after.
I was there after, and after they only had the M&Ms.
They never have two of them together.
However,
which is very
before
weird.
that they did. Before they had both. So I think they kind of cut back and decided, okay, we're going to just do one at a time.
Yeah.
But very efficient, very cool. A lot of people are complaining, saying that it isn't private, which it isn't. But, it's still a place to sit and
And the
relax.
water's cold, so you got to appreciate it. But what do we got coming on Monday, Mom?
Some hard-ticketed events are ready to be purchased. All about the most wonderful time of the year. We'll have to figure out what that is, and if you don't know, you don't know.
And I got to talk to you about quality of the images we're using because man,
what?
I can't even
tired.
read that, and I'm here. What is
you're
going
not
on?
supposed to.
Okay.
You're not supposed to be able to because it's like just a hint.
All right, everybody. Well, here's the deal.
What's the deal?
We haven't heard a mom joke of the day for weeks now. Please, I hope she took this opportunity to look for good jokes. So, come on, Mom, let's hear it.
Okay, everybody likes to be in the pool. Why were the elephants always getting kicked out of the pool?
Because it's got to do with trunks. Because they never had their trunks on.
Because they were always dropping their trunks.
Because they were dropping their trunks. Because they were putting them in the water, dropping them.
Yes, They have to drop their trunk to get the water.
That's not a good one. That's not a good one.
It's because you're. I don't want to say. I don't want to say the S word because my grandchildren will get me in trouble. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we are glad to be back. We cannot wait to keep these episodes going. Thank you so much for watching.
I'm the mom.
And I'm the son. And this is the Mom and Son Show.